Public records show that February 28, 2017, Robert Bobby Scott, representative for Virginia's 3rd Congressional District, introduced H.R. 1242. On January 8, 2018, President Donald Trump signed it into law. A 15-member commission was formed to launch the 400 years of African American history. That's horrible. The legislation acknowledges contributions African Americans have made to America. ASI's response to H.R. 1242. H.R. 1242 is a racial mistake. America started breeding slaves in 1619. April 12, 1861, 242 years later, the Civil War was fought to free the slave. April 9, 1865, the Civil War ceased and freshly born, ignorant slaves were released from slavery and abandoned into America's bigoted economic society. We have since stagnated in racial ignorance, misidentified, misnamed, and regulated to economic starvation. When Dr. Martin Luther King was leading American slaves, we were misidentified as colored people and misnamed Negroes. We're now misidentified as African Americans and classified as minorities. Now me, I actually thought I was a minority most of my life until I became Minority Entrepreneur of the Year in manufacturing. And when I was standing on the stage accepting my award and I was the only slave there, thinking that because of my color I was a minority, I was rudely awakened that I was not a minority. That is when I found out that I was an American slave. When I accepted the Minority Award, Entrepreneur of the Year, I had already owned numerous businesses. I had already owned numerous businesses, and I still thought I was a minority. The contributions of American slaves made to America are covered up under a blanket of congressional ignorance. It is wrong for Congress to confuse American slaves and make us believe that we're immigrants and call us African Americans just to keep compensating us for slavery. I have published 15 books that examine the history of slavery in America. In 2009, I published American Slaves, Inc. Renaissance Plan, the plan that I just showed you. This is the strategy that will guide us to the economic battlefield that Dr. King was talking about. Black leaders are discussing reparations for slavery emotionally. This creates more mystery and mystique to slavery than is necessary. The way black leaders perceive reparation for slavery is backward misconception. It makes no business sense. When dealing with reparation for slavery, we must detach ourselves from emotion while taking nothing personally. We must connect with the divine power that is reflected through us from slavery. The main reason I'm here in Washington today is to speak to black leaders, especially those who have some money, because it doesn't take much to get us out of this mess if we understand the mess that we're in and understand who we are. Oprah Winfrey, being the greatest black philanthropist in the world and ever in history, is tarnished by her inability to recognize her proper identity and help her own people. If she knew her proper identity and understood that she is a descendant of American slaves and not an African American, I believe her philanthropism would be directed to American Slaves, Inc., the only organization in the world that represents her rightful people, American slaves. Michael Jordan, he's another one. He could invest in our people and make millions in the process. Let's see, perhaps the most celebrated American slave is Sean Combs, Diddy. He's another one could invest in our people and free our people from the mental chains of ignorance and make a bundle in the process. The first American slave billionaire ever listed on Forbes is Robert Johnson. He's another one. He could invest in our people. Irvin Johnson, Magic Johnson, we all know him. He's supposed to be one of the best businessmen in the world. He could invest in his people if he knew who he was. Tiger Woods, he's another one. Tiger Woods in 2013 was the highest paid athlete in the world. He earned a whopping $65 million in endorsements and $13 million in salary and prize money. He could free his people and not even miss it. Sean Carter, another one. Bill Cosby. He might still have enough money to help free his people. He lived his whole life as a rich African American, finally wound up in jail as an American slave. He still might have enough money to free his people because it doesn't take that much. Sheila Johnson, the other Johnson's wife, she's got $400 million. She could help. Donahue Pebbles, another one. All of these people have millions and billions of dollars, and all it takes to free our people, at least start to free them, is $1.2 million. And that's just why I'm here today. If we want to free our people, we've got to come together and work together. Over the years, I haven't been able to reach these people. I've tried, but I haven't been able to. July 30, 2018, LeBron James addressed the media, and President Trump attacked LeBron James' intelligence. And so they went back and forth over LeBron's intelligence. Someone should contact LeBron and alert him of his proper identity and let him know this is the perfect opportunity for him to prove just how smart he really is. Start helping American Slaves, Inc. teach young descendants of American slaves their proper identity and how to excel in America. Now, hopefully, black leaders won't misunderstand me pointing them out and talking this way. And normally, our people don't like anything negative to come out about them. But what I'm saying here today is not negative. What I'm saying here today is truthful communication that you need if you really want to help your people. You're not African Americans. You're descendants of American slaves.